shot 9 for 26. Just throw that out too.
All right. We are back. Episode number 2, Purest Play Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Never left. Once a week, coming at you. I'm Keenan. This is my guy, Kev.
Yes, sir. Back at it again.
And we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to follow up on. All right, so we're going to get straight to it. We're not even going to waste no time. I got the notes. Kev got the notes. Let's go out west. All right, Minnesota, San Antonio. Now we all know what happened. San Antonio's the better team. Ant needs help, man. How are we going to get Ant some help? How are we going to get Ant some help, Kev?
We have to get rid of Julius Randle. We have to get rid of Rudy Gobert. But, right, I got a spinoff. Does the series change if Chinzo didn't get hurt first round?
I think it does. I think DiVincenzo was a guy that did a great job spacing the floor. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could talk about his shot selection. You could talk about him not being the best playmaker. But in terms of just him being a threat out there, I think we would have saw a lot less double teams on Anthony Edwards. And that would have freed up their star players some more just by having DiVincenzo as the shortest pass away on that hash mark, being ready to pull from 30 if needed, being ready to spread out that defense. And, of course, unfortunate, torn Achilles. He's probably not even going to be available next season. And then you got guys like Ayo DeSumo talking about in his press conference. He's excited for free agency and shit like that. So I think that it's going to be tough. It's important that, yes, they got to get rid of Randle and Gobert. Mm-hmm. You know, the Cat Randle stuff, we can all throw that out the window.
Thank you.
That's not a real conversation at this point. Mm-hmm. They got to find a way to free up that contract, both of those contracts, and flip that open money that they're going to get back for, you know, some depth and front court ability, because 3 points combined in an elimination game at home, that's very unacceptable.
Nasty work, right?
I couldn't even guess that. So Ant needs some help. I know you were saying some things about maybe Ant leaving, but I was trying to explain that that's just not realistic at this point, given the fact that Ant will be 25 this summer, and Ant's too valuable of a piece. You got to build around a guy like him. Now, we don't have all the answers to what they need and who they're going to trade for Gobert and Randle and how that's going to work, but we definitely do know that I can't walk into the next season with that same roster, with that same starting lineup. So
let's stay on Ant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the next 3 years, Chad, nothing changes. The West is only going to get better, right? And if Ant-Man does not get a star, is he following behind the same footsteps that KG followed, that KG went through? KG left Minnesota in his 30s. He won the chip. Once he left, due to injury, he's not a multiple-time champion.
Right.
We can all attest to that.
Right.
So does Ant-Man wait till he's in his 30s? He'd be like, you know what? This might not work for me, or I can't win here. Let me go find another team where I can flourish in. How does that work?
See, now I'm going to look up his contract. Now I'm going to look at his contract. Let's look at the timeline. Let's look at how much we got. Okay, so he's on a 5-year, $244 million rookie maximum extension that runs through the 28-29 season. So that perfectly aligns with your hypothetical situation of, hey, 3 years from now, is he going to leave, or is he going to, you know, still have faith in Minnesota? Mm-hmm. My thing is, by the 28-29 season, he's going to be 28. He's going to be 28 going into that season.
Yes. Still prime. Still young.
I bet you before then, realistically, this offseason, but I know that the free agents and the guys that might be available may not be to the caliber that Minnesota needs to win. So they might have to be a little patient in terms of not rushing to get this big contract guy if certain guys aren't available. But by 2029, Minnesota better have their stuff together. And I have faith that they'll have their stuff together along with Ant developing as his own individual, because I'm not going to hold Ant all the way blameless. I think that he had a great postseason for the circumstances. He was injured. He did have that hyperextension. He did heal like a Wolverine and come back and was able to make it for game one. Was he 100%? No, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely wasn't 100% throughout the whole series.
He left it all out there, though.
He left it all out there. That's why I got all the respect and love for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that he can find a way to navigate those double teams better. I think that Chris Finch is a good head coach, but I think that they can find ways to get better lineups to not even have him get doubled in the first place. You know what I mean? And that goes back to getting rid of guys like Randall and Gobert, both of them on the floor. Yes, defensively, rebounding-wise, physicality-wise, they have a lot of pluses. But on that offensive end, you're not giving Ant no kind of help in terms of spacing and realistically having to guard these guys. These are two, you got one defender to double, and then you got another defender on the back lines just waiting to roam for whatever, Ant's passing to. So I think Ant can find a better way to navigate those doubles, one, but also let's scheme up something different. Let's work on getting Ant the ball in the post on the low block first, rather than having him be the point guard and your best scorer. I think that's just a tough ask. You know what I mean? The only guy that's doing it well is Shea. You know what I mean? You see what happens when these other guys get doubled. You see what happens when guys in Detroit get doubled and they supposed to be the hero and the guy
Hold
doing
on,
everything.
we just talking about this year?
Yeah. We'll talk about this season.
Oh, you're talking about this year? Like this year? So only Shea's the only one that was doing that?
Successfully navigating it. Listen, we'll talk about it. But
wow,
these guys do not like getting double teamed.
No.
Ant has said that publicly. I don't know why they double teaming me. I don't F with that. Da-da-da. He's growing. He's maturing to realizing that, hey, I'm going to get double teamed. I'm not good.
Yes.
But let's find a way to really play make. Let's find a way to really get these looks going. I was wondering why guys aren't flashing in the middle on those double teams. You know what I mean? I'm not no NBA coach, but I feel like I watch basketball enough to know that if you're getting doubled and you're going to pass it side to side, that makes it easier for the defense to recover.
Mm-hmm.
But why is it nobody flashing middle? You know why? Because Rudy Gobert can't do it because he can't handle the short roll.
He tried.
And when Julius Randle flashes middle, his decision-making can be questionable, as we saw this past series, especially with a guy like Wemby in front of him. So now...
But for Julius Randle, that's always been his issue since he was on the LA Lakers, right? He had a breakout season in New York.
Mm-hmm.
New York paid him a lot of money, but respectfully,
he earned that too.
What did he do, though? Once they realized Buddy can't go right,
yep,
then it's all over. He's not giving you the 30s. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. He's not taking over the mismatches. Like you said, yo, Kev, these people that's guarding Julius Randle, 6'8", 6'7",
right.
He should be bullying them down and doing this. We didn't see it at all this season. I didn't see it. Yes, when Ant-Man was down, did he have a remarkable run? Yes, he did. But then when we get film on him and it's time to play playoff basketball and there's a different limelight out there, he didn't show up at all.
I agree.
But yes, Randle has to get out of there.
I think we seen the ceiling of the Timberwolves as constructed, and ultimately, there's gonna be some changes in that front office and in that roster.
Yes, has to be.
Now, moving on to the San Antonio Spurs. Much credit to that roster, that young roster full of Bulls and Wolves and kids that don't know any better, that got all the confidence in the world.
Get your popcorn, ladies and gentlemen.
We got a big time series coming up. Starting tonight as we're recording this episode, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between the San Antonio Spurs at Oklahoma City, the defending champs. Shea, he's the MVP. Just got named MVP, back-to-back regular seasons MVP.
Yes.
I don't know. Do we have any objections to that? I don't have any objections to that.
I don't have no objection. I mean, people got hurt.
Oh,
people got hurt.
Who got hurt?
I feel like people got hurt. Huh?
You talking about Jokic got hurt?
I'm talking about 77. But hey, we don't gotta talk about my guy. My guy's done. He don't need to be spoken about. But I honestly feel like nowadays, respectfully, Shea had an amazing year. Mm-hmm. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but I feel like the NBA is a bandwagon league.
Okay.
Whoever's hot is like now. Listen, Shea gets back-to-back MVPs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, where do we put Shea in the league right now? Is Shea number 1? Is Shea top 5? What is he? Well, he's always been top 5, respectfully, but like,
yeah, I don't think there's a question if he's top 5 or not.
Is he 1? Is he 2?
I think he's officially number 1. I think he's been number 1 for a good while now. I think he was number 1 once he got that Finals MVP trophy.
So when he won the championship, he became number 1.
Probably when he beat Denver in that 7-game series last year in the second round. I think he became number 1 clearly.
Okay.
Once Jokic and Shea went head to head, and it was a great series, but by Game 7, the youth prevailed. Shea performed, and he did that all the way through the finals. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And he's continued that this year. I mean, you look at his numbers, damn near identical to the first year. He won MVP last year, and I don't think there was much debate whether he deserved MVP or not last year. I think he was number 1 in MVP last year. I think his scoring went down a little bit, but it went down by a point. But he also took 2 less shots, and his field goal percentage went up by 4 percentage points. His 3-point percentage went up by a percentage point. You know what I mean? Just as many free throws. I know we're not children, so we're not going to talk about the free throws. Yeah, we're not going to.
So I like how I want to stay on numbers.
Yeah,
right. I want to stay on numbers.
Yeah.
So I want you to, because your laptop's right there. Can you just look at his numbers, and then can you look at my guy's numbers?
Yes.
And I feel like my guy gets shaded a lot because they say, "Oh, but he doesn't play defense." But the numbers is crazy.
The numbers are ridiculous. Yes. And he did make the 65-game rule. I know he played 64, but due to
that looks like 33.5, 7, and 8. Okay, 47%.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I seen Shay's. His was 31.
Yep, 31, 4 and 6. I think the difference between a Luka and a Shea is
I want to hear this.
It's an efficiency and volume kind of argument. I'm not even going to go to the winning and the standings because I think that it's clear that OKC does have a better team than LA as constructed. So, yes, OKC is expected to be better in the standings. Luka is winning enough games to be an MVP consideration. I think that it was asinine that he wasn't an MVP finalist. I think that a guy like Wemby averaging the numbers he was, knowing that they have such a great unit as a whole as well, I think that Luka deserved more votes than a guy like Wemby, as good as he is defensively. But I think there is a seniority and narrative that you need to put in. Now, I think between Shea and Luka, it's an efficiency versus volume thing. I mean, is Luka averaging 33.5? Yes. But Shea's averaging 31, taking 3 less shots a game, taking 6 less threes a game.
Mm-hmm.
Luka's putting up 6 more threes a game on average, and he's only averaging 2 more points. He's taking 3 more shots overall. He's taking more free throws on average than a Shea. The scoring's not going to...
Does Luka have a J-Dub? No, I'm just asking a question.
Yeah, J-Dub's my man.
Does Luka have a Chet Holmgren? Does Luka have a young running mate to run with him?
Hell no, but Luka doesn't want that. Luka doesn't need that.
Why doesn't he not need that?
His play style. Oh,
well, his whole career, everybody's been on his back. That's the difference between Luka and Shea. Okay. Luka's been the man since he got drafted. Shea had to play the backfield and learn a little bit. And then the next year he got explosive. And I'm not knocking Shea.
Right.
I'm a fan. I'm not knocking him.
Yeah.
But I feel like Luka gets a lot of backlash because, like you said, efficiency, right?
Yep.
Even we go on records, even we go on teams.
Yep.
Jokic got an MVP, and I think Buddy was in like 6th, 7th seed. that year.
Uh,
I don't know what year.
who you
Don't
talking
quote
about?
me.
Jokic?
Jokic. He got Finals MVP,
Jokic numbers
and he
are
was
ridiculous.
not. Huh?
Jokic numbers be ridiculous.
What
though.
was his numbers?
Triple-double average.
What was his numbers?
Come on, man. Let me create a new tab real quick. Because
But that's a different topic. We don't got to go there.
Yeah.
I get emotional when it comes to my
we
guy.
know the numbers.
So
We
we're
know
not even gonna do that,
We know
right?
the
We're
numbers,
getting
yes.
off topic.
yes.
So we're going Spurs and OKC, right? That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Like I said to you earlier, I feel like it goes by guard play, right? For one. Also, I feel like, can Wemby become the best player in the series? I mean, he's 7'4", 7'5",
Oof, that's a good question.
right?
That's a good question.
I feel like Shea. We know what we're gonna get from Shea,
That's
right?
a good
We know
question.
what we're gonna get from Shea. We don't know what we're gonna get from J-Dub. We don't know what we're gonna get from Chet. And like I told you before earlier, Spurs have no fear because Spurs is just playing like a deer in the headlights. It's all free play.
Right.
We already beat the expectations.
Yes.
So the pressure is really on OKC. And another thing, Keenan, we haven't seen an NBA team win back-to-back since a Kobe Bean.
That's to be noted. Well, since the Warriors,
Did they win back-to-back?
the KD Warriors in 17-18.
I'm sorry.
And
That was a super team, though.
right. That's everybody kind of has that asterisk, so it makes sense why you skip over that. But yes, since even a LeBron, the Heat team, right? The 2012, 2013, right? And then a Kobe that was able to do that in 2009 and 2010. But you just heard the names we just mentioned. These are guys that are considered top 3 all time, right? We're not going to get into the Shea all time debates. We'll do that a decade from now. But
Not there yet.
we are saying this to say that it is very tough to win back-to-back, to be playing the most games in a whole season, regular season and postseason combined. This is a very good question of, we already seen a J-Dub that is available for game 1, but he's had multiple hamstring issues that have held him out for month-long stints, if not longer than that, throughout the season. I think almost 3 now, right? So that is a big question mark. He will be healthy today, but Shea's been having to shoulder so much of a load. Chet in the front court, in Hartstein. How will they, be able to keep up their play against a guy like Wemby? How will Wemby affect the way they play? Will Chet be able to possess an outside game? Will he be able to have a consistent enough jump shot to keep Wemby honest and to keep him out of the paint? Because that's something that's to be looked after. Chet got a very slow jumper. Wemby got a lot of length. It's easy for Wemby to close out from the block when Chet is taking a couple seconds to get that thing up over his head and off, on target to the rim. So that's something to look out for. I was looking at Chet's numbers, but just in general, team to team, I have another question of, will the Spurs' regular season success translate to the playoffs? You know what I mean? That can give a team a lot of confidence, especially a team that don't have playoff experience like that. Of course, these past 2 series they've have a lot of success, and of course it's given them confidence, but especially against the champs, how much weight are you putting on your regular season success, from starting off winning a close game in the in-season quarterfinals, semifinals, right, against OKC, then you beat them another 2 times, so you're up 3-0 on them before OKC gets 1, right? And then that last game, I think there was a lot of guys missing from that game, so it's not too much of a significant game. But, fully healthy rosters, you're up 3-1 on them. How much confidence does that give San Antonio coming into the series?
Through the roof. I honestly feel like they want to play the OKC Thunder. I feel like they feel like if they get past the OKC Thunder, I feel like they know, we're going to be a champion.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So
I know Knicks fans.
Confidence, yes, through the roof. We beat y'all when y'all was healthy. We beat y'all when y'all didn't have nobody, so there's no excuses. Now, on the other hand, Thunder might be like, it's crazy. Regular season. But 0-0 right now.
Yep.
We had the most rest. We're chilling. we're at home. We might be a little bit more confident. And also, once again, we have been here before.
Right.
Y'all never been here before. Right. So are we gonna lean on experience? Right? We're gonna lean on more experience on the OKC side, but like I said, it's very scary when you're playing against a team that has no expectations of the game no more. We already exceeded our expectations. So right now, we already know everybody's against us. So we're going to have to come out here and show everybody and prove everybody wrong. But if Wemby's having those monster games like he did in OKC, and them young boys like Harper and Castle and, De'Aaron Fox coming out the blue here and there being consistent, like I told you before, Spurs is a very hard team to beat because defensively they locked in. Yes, their weaknesses is shooting. They cannot shoot the ball. But, boy, let me tell you something. They can drive the hell out that rock. They're going to find lanes to get in that dunk package. The rookie boy, he wasn't even top 3 in the rookie leaders. He didn't even make it, and he went the furthest. And he's
coming off the bench.
And he's been contributing. It's not like he's not doing nothing.
The fact.
He's a young kid. He's not even 20 yet. Is he 20?
No, I don't think so. I think he's 19 still.
He's giving you 12 boards. He's giving you a couple dimes. He's giving you a
20.
strong.
Just turned 22 months ago.
Okay, he just turned 20, and he's giving you 11, 50% shooting.
30, and he's upped it in the postseason.
Like I'm trying to tell you.
14 and 5.
Now is OKC deep enough for the Spurs?
That's a very good question. I think that one, it starts with the head of the snake. I think as deep as OKC is, they are heavily reliant, as they should be, on their MVP Shea. I think that Shea won't be getting as many double teams this series as he did last. I think that the Spurs' depth and individual players give them that, privilege and ability to not have to put as much defenders on Shea, especially with Wemby on that back line, given that Shea drives to the basket more than anybody else in the league. I think they feel good about putting a Castle up on him, putting a Vassell at times. I'm sure they'll be looking for the switch on Champagny a lot of the times. I don't think they'll be in a rush to send 2 when OKC gets the defender they want on Shea because they got a guy like Wemby on that back line. Now, I think that as bad as San Antonio can be from the perimeter, I think that OKC has some of those same problems. So I think that it'll be very important for a guy like J-Dub, especially with him coming back from hamstring. Obviously, you're not moving too much during that recovery time, but you can work on that standstill shooting. I'm expecting J-Dub to be a little more aggressive from those catch-and-shoot three-point attempts. As great as he is as a driver, like I said, Wemby's down there. So you have to adjust your game plan a little bit. Of course, you don't want to just reinvent yourself. You've won 64 games this season, attacking the paint, kicking out, being relentless defensively. But that outside shooting got to kick in. Guys like McCain, this is where that trade value kicks in. He's going to have to come in and be ready to shoot and give them big spot minutes and be just as efficient as he was against L.A. And I think that Shea's going to need to be exactly who he's been all season. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on him that San Antonio is giving him defensively, but there's no excuse. I expect him to be the best player in the series. And, yeah, it's the Spurs that got to, like you said, everyone expects the Spurs to lose. I'm one of those people. I think it's going to be a bloodbath, but San Antonio, you still got to show us that you deserve to be in that chip. You know what I mean? Despite we haven't had a repeat champion, all this stuff, you got to show us still. So with that,
and on top of that, though, Keenan, Spurs beat a good Minnesota team. Yes, Ant was hurt. Yes, we're talking bad about Randall and Gobert or whatever.
Right.
But they're still a good team.
Yeah, I agree.
OKC, y'all really didn't play anybody.
Right.
Y'all played a Phoenix that just had the Devin Booker, and you can say Dylan Brooks.
They haven't lost a game.
They played the Andrews Lakers team. There's no Luka. A. Reeves, he tried, but I don't think that
he wasn't even 100%.
It wasn't even close. So it wasn't like that. I feel like they got a cakewalk these first 2 games. So now you're actually about to play somebody competitive.
that got
How
that
does y'all
adrenaline.
confidence gonna be?
I agree.
Are y'all gonna get the same open looks? Are y'all gonna be outrunning people? Is your defense gonna look good when you got to go against a Wemby and those people that's gonna ride for Wemby?
Yeah. And
It's a lot of questions.
San Antonio's no punk. They know how to punch somebody in the mouth. So I completely agree. That's a great point. It's going to be very interesting to see OKC and how they respond to getting punched in the mouth during the course of the game, during the course of the series. Because I'm definitely not expecting OKC to sweep, but I think it will be very interesting if and when they lose their first game of the postseason. How would they respond when they give up that 10-0 run? When Shea back-to-back turnovers, how do they respond? You know, how do they adjust? You know what I mean? So with that being said, I want to hear your prediction. OKC, 6.5-point favorites tonight. Obviously, they're favored to win the series as a whole. Who do you got in how many games?
I think the series is going 7, and I'm gonna stick with the team I said from the jump, Spurs. I got Spurs in 7, man. No hesitation. I'm a ride with Wemby and them. If they lose, they had an amazing season, but I really feel like they're gonna raise the trophy this year. Not gonna hold you,
man. And as for me, I'm gonna go OKC in 6. Okay. I think that Shea is a level above everybody else in terms of offensive consistency, and I think that he's going to have his best series of the postseason so far, especially because it calls for it, right? You know, the defensive challenge, I think that this is what he's been waiting all season for. I think that when you look at their regular season games against them, I think he's been new that if he wanted to go back to the finals, he'd have to go through these guys. So I think that we're going to see a 32, 33 a night type of performance for Shea this series, and that's going to be enough for OKC to get it done in 6. You know what I mean?
If he doesn't get those 31s or 32s, and he sticks to the let's say mid-20s?
If he averages anything less than 30, I could easily see you hitting this prediction right on the nail in terms of San Antonio in 7. I will not be surprised at all if San Antonio wins this series, but I will give the benefit of the doubt to what I'm witnessing with Shea right now. You know what I mean? In real time, I think we're going to look back at Shea and realize, you know, his run was up there with those guys. You know what I mean? But I think that this is going to be one of those series where it's like, man, you remember that series, that conference finals against San Antonio,
this
against
Wemby?
To talk about. You know what I mean?
Something to talk about.
It's going to help Wemby get better. It's going to help the Spurs get better. So I'm looking forward to it. But those are the predictions we got for OKC, San Antonio. That's the western side of the playoffs. Now let's get over to this East Coast shit. All right,
let's go to the East,
man. I'll lead this one off. I'll lead this one off because I had a lot to say. We had a lot to say, but Detroit, Cleveland. I'm not going to waste too much time because I know a lot of us cut the game off early last night with this Game 7 performance. Very underwhelming from Detroit. We were debating if Cade's a guy or not last episode. I don't want to completely reignite that debate, but I just want to say that a performance like this in a Game 7 is the reason why I was hesitant on claiming Cade's a guy. You know, I think that it's very important that Cade needs to establish himself more as a scorer, because his turnovers were unacceptable this series. I know we'll win 7. I know that they had flashes, and I know they're a defensive first team, but you're not making it very far in the playoffs, averaging 5.5 turnovers in a given series. So I'm gonna leave it at that. We'll talk a lot more about the rest of Detroit, about a guy like Jalen Duren when it's time for that offseason contract talk. But Sam Merrill having his career high in the playoffs by halftime, that alone should just tell you how unacceptable of a performance that Detroit put up. Sam Merrill had his playoff career high at halftime of a Game 7 on the road. So we'll leave it at that, okay? Now, New York, Cleveland. We got a good preview here. I'm very excited for this one. I know a lot of my guys from New York. They mess with the Knicks. I mess with the Knicks. I mess with Brunson. We were talking about, can small guards lead a team to a finals? Can they win the finals?
They're definitely going to the finals. Win the finals? No. They are going to the finals. I don't see this series going past 7. 6. It might go in 5. I got Cleveland getting maybe a dub. Why, Kev, you say that? Because once again, James Harden shit the bed last game. Thank you for the rest of the role players that showed up. Thanks for Mobley that showed up. But like I said,
yeah,
when it comes to bright lights, James Harden does not perform.
I will say, speaking of role players and supporting cast, because I don't want to bash Harden too much because they did win the game by 30 and they got the job done through and through. So it's pointless to bash an individual on a winning team like that, right? But Kev is completely right when that kind of performance cannot be continued, especially on a stage like the conference finals. And I'm sure James Harden knows that, but nonetheless, that has to be said. Now, what I will say about Cleveland in this series against New York is that if they can get that kind of motor that they got from Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley consistently throughout the series, I can very well see it going 6 to 7 games. Now, I have New York as well winning this series, just getting these predictions out the way. But like I said last series with Karl-Anthony Towns, and it's this foul trouble and, your physicality and how you're using your body to affect the game. Are you getting in the way, or are you asserting force, asserting dominance? You know what I mean? And with guys like Donovan Mitchell, who is a great slasher, who likes to get to the basket, who is going to call that screen up with whoever you're guarding, Cat, you have to be ready to move those toes. You're a great rebounder, so I'm not expecting you to lose the rebounding battle against a guy like Allen and Mobley. But those guys, when they're on that kind of motor that they had Game 7,
those are two twin towers, though, man. Like,
you got to account for those guys.
Allen's what, 7? If he's not, he's 6'11".
Yeah, legit.
Mobley's another 6'11".
Another legit. Yeah.
So I think they can both battle off and switch off for Brunson. Towns had a great series against Philly. He had a great series against Atlanta. But when he played Atlanta, he was the biggest on the court.
By far.
So now this is going to be a different series.
Even Philly.
Well, Embiid was hurt, but no excuses. He still was the best player, big man out there.
Right.
Offensively. But now, if we get a Mobley that played hard last game, it's going to be a difficult series.
Yeah.
But the only reason why I have the Knicks going in 5 is because I don't think James Harden can guard anybody. So the same way Donovan Mitchell is going to set a screen and have Cat try to move his puppies, I don't think James Harden can guard anybody because realistically, who are you going to put James Harden on?
I would assume that he would start off on a Mikal Bridges.
Okay, Mikal's a solid 6'8".
Yep.
Right? Yes, he can't shoot, but Mikal Bridges can put the ball on the ground and drive to the hoop.
He's active off, and Mikal's active off the ball as well. I think that's
he's a slasher as well.
Yeah, that's something that Harden has struggled with kind of sometimes. Ball watching and letting guys slip past him and stuff like that. He is a solid, underrated weak side defender, but that's definitely something where Brunson is a very smart point guard where he's gonna be staring at Harden for half the possession, just waiting for him to make a stupid mistake like that. And like I said, the Cavs front court is going to have a lot of responsibility, not just rebounding the ball, but definitely defensively protecting that rim because the Knicks are relentless with their effort. I'm looking at the injury report. Anunoby's probable. That's another guy that's huge on crashing the boards. Obviously, we know Josh Hart, who might be smaller than these guys in the front court, but before the game ends, he'll have 11 boards and 6 of them are offensive rebounds, right? So I think these are things that play in the Knicks' favor where, yeah, Harden, you're not just going to have to be a scorer. Even Donovan Mitchell, you're not going to have to be a scorer. You're going to have to be ready to box these guys out because Mikal Bridges won't. He's not going to call for the switch, and he's not going to be the on-ball dribbling, scoring on Harden. He's going to set the screen for Jalen Brunson. He's going to ghost it, and then he's going to make Harden decide, am I switching this? Am I hedging? Am I doing this? So Donovan Mitchell and Harden are going to have to guard more than they have throughout the whole playoffs due to the Knicks' dynamic abilities offensively. When a guy like Deuce McBride gets in the game and he's just running around firing up threes, like the transition game is going to be everything as well. So these are things that make me doubt Cleveland in terms of what they can do. But from what I've seen from Mitchell, especially that Game 7 against Detroit, if he can facilitate and if he can provide a consistent flow of offense and be that number one option and kind of get the narrative out of his head that Harden will be able to put up a 25 a game, because Harden can, but let that be a bonus. You know what I mean? Let that be a cherry on top rather than an expectation for a guy like Mitchell, because I think that it's been a struggle throughout the season for Donovan Mitchell to consistently get Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen involved. But when you have both of them out there, especially when Evan Mobley might be guarded by Josh Hart or OG Anunoby, who probably will start off on Evan Mobley, you got to find a way to get him looks at the rim as early as possible, because Donovan Mitchell, we know he's a flamethrower. He can get going whenever he wants to. But it's, can I get these other guys going? Can I lock in defensively? Can I do my job defensively that won't put us behind the 8 ball where I don't have to do the heroics? You know what I mean? Because I think Donovan Mitchell puts himself in those positions where he might miss an assignment or be a little lazy on defense, and then he has to do something heroic on offense. You know what I mean? They haven't won a game in MSG this season. They played there twice. They lost twice. They did win their one matchup against New York when Harden was on the team, because those previous two in MSG, Darius Garland was on the team. So they should have some confidence too in terms of, you know, knowing how to match up against them. I think for every advantage that the Knicks have on offense, the Cavs can create the same thing on defense. I think that it's just more so an effort thing and a buy-in thing in terms of everybody's roles and executing that consistently. You know what I mean? So,
but the only thing I can say, Keenan, is they won 7 in Detroit. And Detroit only had realistically one consistent guy that was really in double digits. The Tobias Harris, he didn't even give them 20. Yes, Detroit is a defensive team, and I get that part. But offensively, yes, Cade had a terrible Game 7. But realistically, bro, they took him to 7, and look what he had.
I know. But I'll tell you this much.
New York's a way better offensive team. You're not going against one guy. Cat can get going. Bridges can get going. Josh Hart can sneak up and get you a double-double. Brunson's going to give you the 30s. So it's like you got a couple guys that's going to come at you. How do you respond to that? And people can lack off. People can double team. People can help because, this person's not on tonight. We don't got a Thompson that can't shoot. He's only good for defense, but
don't even got to guard him.
But we don't got to guard you. We can just help him out, and then that's how Buddy gets 5-6 turnovers a game.
The lane does get clogged. Get clogged.
So then what do you do now? Like your defense, how do you play defense against the Knicks when it's going to be spread out?
That's true, and I'll tell you what. A big difference between a Cade and a Brunson, you're not going to be able to double a Brunson the way you double Cade. Brunson's not going to freeze and pick up his dribble the way Cade was at times. You know what I mean? He's not going to just willingly give the ball up as soon as he sees two. Brunson is a way cleaner ball handler than Cade. I think one thing that I was, and just to harp back on Detroit and Cade while we're talking about him, one thing that was disappointing about Cade was that he wasn't able to manipulate enough contact for them to even think about not doubling him anymore. I think that, yes, we could talk about a Sar Thompson, a Jalen Duren out there, even a Dennis Jenkins, where they might not have respected as much as Detroit would have liked. That made it tough for Cade to deal with the doubles, but Cade wasn't.
It's like he wasn't aggressive enough.
Cade was doing too much of the deferring as soon as he saw it. I wish that Cade would try to turn the corner before the double came. You know what I mean? I think that there was a lot of times Cade was bringing up the ball, and he could have seen the double coming from a mile away, and instead he just let the double come and think that he would figure it out then, rather than, if you know the double's coming, let me speed up this offense. Let me turn the corner on my man, so if this double's still coming, that guy's out of position. I think the difference between him and Brunson's gonna. If you want to double Brunson up top, which obviously they will at certain points, Brunson's just good enough where you're gonna have to at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But Brunson's going to turn the corner on guys and put guys out of position himself. He's not gonna rely on the pass to put them out of position every time. You know what I mean? Brunson's gonna draw a couple fouls up at that half court line, and people are gonna be watching their TVs looking at Cleveland like, why are you fouling him there? Well, it's not even Cleveland's fault. It's just Jalen Brunson being aggressive. He's matching that aggressiveness with the defensive double teams with his offensive aggressiveness. I didn't see that enough from Cade. You're 6'7". You're 6'6", 230, 240. You're getting doubled by Schroeder and Dean Wade. You're quick enough to turn the corner on Dean Wade. You're bigger than Schroeder to pass over the top. But what are you doing? You're relying on the short roll guy, and you're surprised when you're putting the ball above your head before you throw it, and it's getting deflected. And now a whole break started. I mean, I just want to mention the turnovers because it was just –
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot to it's a lot to deal with. And he had 3 turnovers game 7, but he had 3 turnovers because he was so exhausted from dealing with those double teams that he wasn't even bringing the ball up anymore. That's why he only scored 1 point off a technical free throw in the second half.
He had a bad game. He had a bad game 7.
It represents how much he had to deal with the double teams and how much he didn't know. And that's why he's not there as a guy yet, because we know the guys in
series though, Keenan.
But this is his 3rd series ever. So in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with not being a guy right now. Because Apollo, I love Apollo. He averages 38 points a game in game 7s. Mm-hmm. He just put up 40 damn near in the game 7 against Detroit.
Yeah.
They lost that series because they lost to Franz Wagner.
Okay.
Right? Now, you can say the same thing about Paolo, about not having guys and not having the help he needs. And Jalen Suggs is going 1 for 13.
Terrible.
For the last 3 games, right? You could say all these things. But at the end of the day, sometimes if you can't find a way, and like I said, I love Paolo, but I'm not going to be mad when the next guy says Paolo's not a guy. Because there's certain things that you can control that can change your circumstances. Being up 3-1.
This is his 3rd year, though. Paolo's 3rd year?
Yeah, it's his 4th year.
This is his 4th year?
4th year.
Every year he went to the playoffs?
Every year he went to the playoffs. Haven't won a series yet.
He hasn't won one. No, he's not a guy yet.
He's not a guy yet, but
he's getting there.
To the Cade turnovers. 4 turnovers game 1. 5 turnovers game 2. 8 turnovers game 3. 5 turnovers game 4.
Yeah, he was wild.
6 turnovers game 5. 7 turnovers game 6. And 3 turnovers game 7. Why? Because like I just said, he's deferring by the end of the series because he's like, hey, I know what's going to happen to me. I've seen this movie 6 plus 7 plus 5 plus 8 plus 25 times.
Yeah, that's crazy.
30 times. So that's my thing where, hey, when you go into the offseason, you want, let's see what AD doing. Let's see what Devin Booker doing. Let's see if we could get help.
So a lesser turnover. If we cut those turnovers to at least 2 turnovers a game, does he become a guy then?
No.
Still not a guy.
Because his next step is, how can I be an elite scorer? You know why? He's averaging 24, let's round up, 24, 5.5, and 10.
It's not bad numbers, though.
Not bad at all. But when you go into the playoffs and you're averaging 5.5 turnovers and you're putting up 24, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists, you're not a playoff riser. You're getting dwindled down by the game plan. You're getting chewed up by the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Guys don't get chewed up by the game plan, win or lose. Guys don't get chewed up by the game plan.
Did you say Ant's a guy?
Ant hyperextended his knee a week ago.
I'm asking you a question.
Oh, you see what
I'm
Kev be
just
doing,
saying,
right?
yo.
You see what Kev be doing,
He
right?
said answer
You see
God.
what Kev be doing, right?
I'm just saying.
This is why I
You
got
said
him on the
he's a
pod.
guy.
This is because I had to record this stuff.
Yo,
This is why I started this because of him.
You said answer
telling
God.
you.
I'm just saying.
You see what
'Cause
he's doing,
we
right?
We can't attack him.
I'm making all these points.
Buddy went 9 for 26.
I'm making all these points. And he's telling me his aunt's not a guy. Listen, Aunt.
You right on the laptop. You could just back out. You could just back out, whoop, and just click on.
Aunt's not a guy, yo.
No,
This guy
he's a
is-
guy. Let me not say he's not a guy, but I'm just saying,
on.
like,
We're not going to act like the circumstances aren't different. Okay.
But this year, yes, it was different because he got hurt. But I'm just saying,
He got hurt a week before.
yeah, I'm saying, but I'm just saying in general.
Yes, he averaged 24. He averaged 24. He averages 29 during the series. He's better than that. We know that. But even Ant, he 1 turnover, 4 turnovers, 2 turnovers, 4, 3.
What's his points though?
18, 12. First 2 games where he only played 25 minutes. Injury restriction.
Mm-hmm.
Game 3, 32
So then
in 41 minutes.
And then okay.
Game 4, 36 points in 40 minutes.
What was he shooting though?
He shot 46% game 3. He shot 59% game 4.
Mm-hmm.
He went 1-1 in those games, and then they lost the last 2 games, and he scored 20 and 24, and he only put up
scored 24 and he took 22 shots.
26 shots in game 6 in the game he lost. But
And
mind
then
you,
then he got subbed out the last 8 minutes.
yep, it showed all them guys respect and said, hey, y'all earned it, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I'm not doing the first take stuff and that's wrong to walk out early. No, I don't care about that. This is reality. We're getting smacked. The people that are supposed to be here with me aren't doing nothing. I'm going to take as many shots as I can, and when I'm out of here, I'm dapping y'all up. Because when this buzzer sounds, I'm going to be home. I'm going to be home by the time this buzzer sounds. Hey, let me get over here, get these out the way right now. I don't care. Hey, Cam Newton said, you show me a sore loser, I'm going to show you a loser. You show me a sore loser, I'm going to show you a loser. They lost. It don't matter what he does after he
Nah, it doesn't
lost.
matter. I didn't even care for the whole dap. I'm just sitting here saying
26
he
shots.
still had 8 minutes left.
Hey, man, I'm not coming back in a game, and y'all are beating us to a pulp. I'm not mad. My second best player got 3 points. The guy that's supposed to be my second best player got 3 points.
So who's Cade's second best player?
Jalen Duren.
Now, how much points he had? That's all I'm saying, Keenan. All I'm saying, I'm just matching your energy. I'm just reflecting on what you're saying. Cade had a lot of turnovers. You got that. I can't argue that. We can sit here and say, yes, Cade's not a guy yet. Cool.
Cade's been to a conference finals before.
No, he has not.
Cade's lost to an NBA champion before. To 2 NBA champions before.
Who did Anthony lose to the NBA?
To 3 NBA champions before, actually. You know the last 3 years.
Now?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
The last 3 postseasons Anthony Edwards has been in,
Yes.
excluding this one, 25, 24, and 23.
Yes.
All 3 of those teams,
Made it to the Western Conference Finals?
the finals, the NBA finals,
No. What did he make it to?
the Western Conference Finals. If not,
He never went past the Western Conference Finals.
never.
So how is he a guy?
Because that's the Final Four. That's one of the biggest stages in basketball, and he's not even 25 yet.
And he never surpassed that.
Why did he not surpass that, Kev?
That's the question that we're trying to figure out.
Oh,
That is the question we're trying to figure out. We can always go to the next.
New York Knicks. Yo.
Go to the Knicks.
New York Knicks. Brunson will end up being the best player in the series. That's my prediction.
He is the best player in the series.
I'm glad we agree with that because some people might think Donovan Mitchell. And I love Donovan Mitchell, by the way.
Not consistent for me.
I just don't think that offense is consistent enough. I think there's going to be times where Harden's going to try to find his rhythm. I hope he does. It's awesome when Harden's playing well. It would be cool to see him make the finals. I think that they have a great chance. I think this is Harden's maybe his best chance of his career of making the NBA Finals. Is it all on him to make the finals? No. He's clearly not the first option. He's not the star player. You could even say Evan Mobley has to perform better than a Harden for them to get the job done.
Yes.
But Cleveland, there's no excuse. You might have the built-in excuses with Game 1 and, we just played Game 7 2 days ago and we had to travel to New York, and that's cool. But at some point, you got to realize where you're at and what you can get to. So I'm looking forward to a hard-fought series with Cleveland. Mm-hmm. May the best team win. I got New York in 6. You got New York in 5, you said?
I got him. We can go 6. We'll go 6 together. But if Harden and Cade, if Harden and what's his name, Spider is not consistent, I do got it in New York in 5.
Yeah. In other words, it can get ugly quick for Cleveland.
Yes.
It can get ugly quick. That's all we got for you today. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed it. Kevin,
always.
I want to thank you once again.
Always, my man.
You know what I mean? Great episode. Looking forward to you guys checking this out. Like, subscribe, comment. Any of your opinions, you agree, disagree. You know what I mean? This guy.
And to the chat, James Harden did shit the bed. Game 7. Team-wise, they won. Him individually, he shit the bed.
We don't forget that.
Gotta go. Gotta get the kids.
Salute.
My dog.
My guy. That's another
You already know, dog.
That's
Listen.
She said I'm a diva, I told her me too. I complain and forgot like me don't get the cookie. Running these plays up like week over week, yeah, these settings. You think that I said it on rookie? Made me a profit and caught me a whip in the summer. You thought that I had me a bookie. Go ahead and poly to hit me a celly. The way that I'm sliding and calling me tissy. Feeling like Shoei, I'm out in the film and I placed me a bet and I made me a play. I take the over, then under, then green and 3 like my first name Trey. 3 in a row, I just got it. My bad man, just go through the math and just add up the tally. I read the flow like I'm Hallie. 3 more of these racks and then I take a trip out to Cali. 2 underrated and 2 overhated. When I get creative, I feel like I'm Denny. Double or 50 when I place a wager. No, I can't afford to be betting for pennies. Gotta be patient, you won't be the king, but there's gonna be times where you gotta play possum. Sorta like winners 8 NBA games where you smacking your ticket from better to Siakam. I told her me too, I complain and forgot like we don't get the cookie. Running these plays up like week over week, yeah, these settings. You think that I said it on rookie? Made me a profit and caught me a whip in the summer. You thought that I had me a bookie. Go ahead and poly, then hit me a celly. The way that I'm sliding, they calling me Tootsie.